I was taking a trip out to L.A., tooling along in my Chevrolet, choking on the number and digging on the radio. Just as I crossed the Mississippi Bridge, I heard that highway starting to ridge. I knew that left rear tire was about to go. Well, the spare was flat, and I got pissed off because there wasn't a filling station in sight, so I just limped on down the shoulder on the rim. I went as far as I could and then stopped the car. It was right in front of this little bar, kind of a redneck-looking joint called the Dewdrop Inn. Well, I stuffed my hair up under my hat and told the bartender that I needed gas, and he'd be kind enough to give me change for a wine. Well, there was one thing I was sure proud to see. There was a soldier in place except for him and me, and he just looked disgusted and pointed towards the telephone. I called up the station down the road a ways, and he said he wasn't very busy today, and he'd have someone out there just about 10 minutes or so. He said, now you just stay right where you're at, and I ain't even bothered to tell a dumb fool that I sure as fire ain't had no place else to go. I just ordered up a beer and sat down at the bar when some black guy walked in and said, who owns this car? And peace sign, the mag wheels, and 4 on the floor. He looked at me and I dumb near died, and I decided that I'd wait outside, so I laid $1 on the bar and headed for the door. Just when I thought I'd get off of there with my skin, those 5 big dudes came strolling in, this one old drunk chick, some fella with green teeth. I was almost to the door when the biggest one said, you tip your hat to this lady, son. When I did, all that hair came out from underneath. The thing I wanted was to get in a fart in Jackson, Mississippi on a Saturday night, especially when there was 3 of them and only 1 of me. Started laughing. I felt kind of sick, and I knew that I'd think of something pretty quick, so I just reached out and kicked old Green Tooth right in the knee. He let out a yell and curl your hair, but before he could move, I grabbed me a chair and said, watch it, folks, because he's a thoroughly dangerous man. Well, you may not know if this man's a spy. He's an undercover agent for the FBI, and he's been sitting out here eating Phil drink the U-Trons clean. Bent over holding on to his knee, but everybody else was looking and listening to me, and I laid it on thicker and heavier as I went. Said, would you believe this man was going as far as tearing all the stickers off the bumpers of trucks? He voted for Georgian government for president. He's spraying them long-haired, hippie-type pink old tards. I bet you he's even got a funny flag tacked up on the wall inside of his garage. He's a snake in the grass, I tell you, friends. He might look dumb, but that's just the spies. He's a mastermind in the ways of espionage. They all started acting very suspicious of him, and he stood up and said, you just wait a minute, Jim. You hear he's denying I've been married for all of my life. I'm a faithful following Brother John Version. I belong to the Antioch Baptist Church, and I ain't even got a garage. You can call and ask my wife. Then he started saying something about the way I was dressed, but I figured I went around to hear the rest. I was too busy moving and hoping I didn't run out of luck. To the ground, I was making tracks, and they would just take my truck down off the jack, so I threw the man a 20 and jumped in and cranked that mother up. Mario Andretti would have sure been impressed with the way I was moving when I passed that crowd coming out the door and headed between me and Trot. So I should have gone ahead and run, but suddenly I just couldn't resist the fun of chasing them all just once around the parking lot. They were here for their car, but I hit the gas and spun around and hitting them off the jacks. I was throwing gravel and putting a ton of dust in the air. I had them all out there stepping and fetching like their heads were on fire and their asses was catching, but I thought I'd go ahead and split before the cops got there. The road I was really wheeling, heard gravel flying and rubber screaming. I ain't slowed down till I was almost to Arkansas. I think I'm going to reroute my trip. I wonder if anybody here would have thought I flipped if I went to L.A. Vinyl Mahal.